Hello everyone, apa khabar? This video would be a continuation of the previous video that we've put up, which is on constructing passive sentences in Malay. So in the previous video, we've looked at how to construct or change sentences from an active sentence to a passive sentence in Malay. And we've looked at several examples. We've made sentences in a formal or a standard version of a passive sentence and how a passive sentence would be like if it's spoken. So in this video, we want to continue looking at a few more examples, but the focus this time around will be on just a conversational or spoken version of a passive Malay sentence. So what we'll do is I'll provide the sentence in English in an active form. What we want to figure out is how in the end it is in the passive form in Malay. Okay? Looking at the previous video's example, the English sentence was, "My mom made that cake." So that's an active sentence in English. The active sentence in Malay is, "Mak saya buat kek tu." Mak saya buat kek tu. And then we figured out how it looks like in a passive form, which is, "Kek tu mak saya buat." Kek tu mak saya buat. So let's try and look at a few more examples, starting with the active English form of a sentence, and then we translate that into an active Malay format, and then subsequently the spoken passive format. So let's look at this one. Ben drives that big bus. So to drive in Malay is bawa. We've looked at this in the previous video. Or pandu is another word for drive. The full sentence in Malay is, Ben bawa bas besar tu. Ben bawa bas besar tu. So how do we change this into a past format? Bas besar tu Ben bawa. Bas besar tu Ben bawa. So you can try and change this into the formal or standard form of a sentence in Malay on your own using the previous guide that we've seen in our videos. Okay, next example. I bought that bag in Sabah. So to buy in Malay is beli. The full sentence in Malay in the active form is, saya beli bag tu dekat Sabah. Or saya beli bag tu di Sabah. So changing this into an active or a passive form, we bring the object in front. So that the passive form of the sentence is, bag tu saya beli dekat Sabah. Bag tu saya beli dekat Sabah. So this format clearly has the object in front, and a lot of times you'll hear conversations using an object in front and the subject in between sentences. So that is actually a passive form of a sentence in Malay. Next example. She kicked the ball out of the field. So to kick a ball or to kick is sepak bola. So football in Malay is actually bola sepak, which is a ball kick if it's translated word for word. Or another word for kick is tendang in Malay. Let's use either one, tendang or sepak. So the sentence in active form is dia sepak bola tu keluar padang. Or dia tendang bola tu keluar padang. So how do we say this in a passive format? Bola tu dia sepak keluar padang. Bola tu dia sepak keluar padang. Okay, so let's look at a longer sentence. This one, I bring all the students to the library every month. Okay, let's look at each word, what it is in Malay. To bring is bawa. Students in Malay is pelajar. Library is perpustakaan. And every month is setiap bulan. So this in Malay is saya bawa semua pelajar tu ke perpustakaan setiap bulan. Saya bawa semua pelajar tu ke perpustakaan setiap bulan. So changing this into a passive format, we bring the object, which is all the students or semua pelajar tu in front. It becomes semua pelajar tu saya bawa ke perpustakaan setiap bulan. Semua pelajar tu saya bawa ke perpustakaan setiap bulan. So I think once you get the hang of it, it's easy to change a sentence from an active form to a passive form in Malay. It just requires a bit of practice.